Okay, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go live.
So,
Okay.
I want to
Going live.
go through and do
We're live.
all together what can we do.
yeah.
And
Hello, and welcome to sunny Czechia. We are the Gathering 2025,
Okay.
Planeteer,
He's already
Czechia. Lots of rain. We're setting up. Thank you for joining us so early. I see we have 0 viewers, so I'm just talking to myself at the moment, but I'm sure that somebody is watching this afterwards. You can probably skip ahead a little bit. I'm going to guess that maybe you skip ahead 5 minutes and you might get to the program. We are setting up our studio. We're hanging our sign.
I would
And
let that conversation actually happen here.
we're going
It's by design smaller, you know.
we're going to go to we're going to go now to
there's a group, everybody accepts everybody here.
No, it's good. Then let's do it here, and then we can use the large space for the other things.
And it worked here because it was
Yeah, I
like
think
the
it was
people
good.
who came,
Yeah.
but there is still people who dropped in
Yeah.
and chatted, so it wasn't closed,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like
Yeah, it's
everybody's
perfect,
going to be
actually.
here.
It's perfect. Nice. I'm happy it happened that way. Awa.
We're here with Victor and Yosha.
Hello. Good morning.
What's your impressions of this beautiful day?
Our impressions?
Yes.
The nature is
I'm-
being nourished.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I feel joyful. Like,
Good.
I think, I mean, yesterday I went to bed and my bad neighbor said, oh, it's only been day 1. And I was like, yeah, true. It's only been day 1, you know, like there's 3 more days and we're already, you know, like deep in the experience. And a lot of things, if you just look from like the night before in 24 hours, how many things have shifted already, you know, like from where we were. So I'm quite excited for today and the next 2 days. Like, how do you feel?
It was an incredibly, now that you mention it, it was an incredibly full day. Definitely a week's worth of deep
Right?
conversations in
Yeah.
one day. Yeah, it's beautiful. Some people already left, some people coming. Yeah, I'm fully satisfied.
Nice. Me too.
So maybe when the chairs get ready for you, you can sit for a moment and tell us a little bit more about what happened.
Yeah? Sure. Oh, that's a good one.
Sure. Well, I mean, I can do it standing because actually I would love to use this prop.
Oh, perfect.
If
Okay.
you're able to, yes.
And
so
what's- yeah, cool.
I see playing and making things happen together. I really come to it with the same spirit as a kid that has a toy, bringing it to a playground. So I brought to this playground here today this toy that I've invented or come up with called Venture Family. So I came very much with I've talked about it with people before, but I very much came up with the trepidation. Will people want to play with my toy? Will they call me crazy? And I have to say that I've been very happily and joyously people played with my toy. There was a huge engagement. We had a 3.5 hour session with people coming and going, very fluid but very solid, which we played with the Venture Family idea. And the idea is it's a group of companies. Right now we're thinking 5 to 12 coming together to align work together at multiple levels. And this emerged yesterday from the conversation, and I really love this framework. We're talking, the first one will be a tech around tech businesses. So the first layer is tech, so it's integration between shared technologies, APIs, interoperability. The next layer is product, so that the products interoperate. You know, if you're thinking about it as a simple level as a user, you don't have a separate login into each application, right? You don't have to make 6 profiles for 6 of our applications. You make 1 profile, and with this you can log into all applications. Simple example for product. Then there's business integration interoperability. So collective fundraise is a key one we're looking at because all of our projects need more resources and funding. So coming together to fundraise together. This is a key one because most of us, actually I think all of us here are product, business, human people. And this means people, and these are usually the kind of people who build companies, and people with this kind of a profile approach fundraising as this horrible need of something you have to do so you can get on with what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
And as we know in life, anything that you approach with that kind of an attitude turns out to be horrible and you don't do very well. So we all agree that if we did this together, also there's this thing where when you fundraise, you have to go out there and pitch yourself. I'm so great. I'm going to make so much money. My project is so much better. You should give me money, not him. Right? And the kind of people that we are, I mean, we're not in that kind of an energy.
Yeah.
But I am really excited to pitch your project.
Yeah.
Right? I can much more like Planeteer. This is amazing. You guys should put money into this.
Yeah.
And it goes all around, right? And then also doing it together and the camaraderie. So going on the fundraising journey together, I think is going to be really important.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is also very much knowledge sharing, a shared brand for trust, but also shared sales, right? Shared customers. If our products interoperate and have complementary features, then can go out and sell it as a bigger whole to customers, right? And then it's not like, oh, you take this product and you need these 6 other products to make it. No, we have the whole suite from our companies. Team sharing, something that I'm personally looking for is personal development, mentors and things like this. All of our companies are small. You know, whatever, if you have a tech team, you're lucky if you have 3 or 4 or 5 people, right? It's not a robust human system. But between the whole group, we can also share expertise. We can, you know, none of us is big enough to hire a senior architect. You know, somebody has 20 years of tech experience because that person costs $300,000 in the US, right? But between a group of companies, we can fractionally share roles like this, or a CFO, right? None of us needs or can afford a CFO.
Yeah, or social media storyteller expert.
5 or 12 companies, that's definitely one whole fractionalized CFO.
Absolutely.
And then what I'm really excited about, if we have these fractionalized people across the companies, they'll naturally create linkage and help share.
They're cross-pollinators
So I really
as well.
think that these things, as they add up, will create win and win. It'll make the whole thing much greater than the sum of its parts. Then there's the tribe, the human level, so a shared culture, conflict, values, mutual support. All of us here are here because we want to do better. We want to create good human systems. We want to create supportive environments and all of this. It's a fucking huge amount of work, right? And on top of this, we're trying to do a business and a product and tell a story. And it's too much for a small organization to be great at all of these and be great at the human stuff. But if we're in a family, I don't need to be, for example, have a great culture and expertise in conflict resolution if your organization has it. Because then I can rely, if I need training in the thing, if I need mediation, I just go to you and you're part of the family. It's not like I'm going outside to hire, right?
Yeah.
It's part of the family. And maybe I have expertise in, I don't know, creating a mentorship system, right? And then we create it for the whole thing. So around this tribe, this human level, I'm really, really excited about this. As well as having, you know, a bigger, more dynamic group. So when we show up at the gathering, we are a proper tribe, you know.
Yeah.
We create a group. And then, arguably, Andrew Hassel is not here, but he will tell us the most important thing is the story.
Yes.
So there's 2 parts to it. First of all, if we're telling this story together, we can much more powerfully put this story out into the world, resharing each other's stories and telling the bigger story. And then also something that I really realized yesterday and that came to me is, I think it's time for a big vision. We know all of the problems, we know the timeline until the crash is getting shorter. I don't believe it's a year or two, but it's not 50 years if we don't change, right?
Yeah.
We really need to have a big vision and tell a big story for transformation of the whole human system. But I don't think individually, at least for me, I don't feel strong and powerful enough to tell the story, I'm gonna fix humanity, I have a plan. But if we come together, it becomes much less hubrisful and more realistic to tell a story. Yeah, like we really have a big vision.
Thank you. Amazing.
And we're gathering in the studio our next interviewees and talent and show.
I have a reflection.
I would first quickly share
to share an idea with this. I heard a lecture about narrative event cycles during a congress from the Chaos Computer Club, and it was how to build, how to evolve the story. So everyone takes ownership of the story and also drives the story, so that it doesn't need to have one fixed story in the beginning, but a goal, and the story drives itself. And I think this is also a really interesting concept.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that in. Chaos Computer are also people that are absolute partners in these things. Yeah. Also, okay. It's wonderful for me to actually now stand next to you after this first day, and hear your summary of everything, because I've been able to briefly drop into these conversations. And I mean, we were both hosting the first one, which went like wide, so it was more of kind of like a not divergence, but like just seeing what is everything that's in the space in terms of vision, in terms of where people are at that moment. And then we set the intention to continue the conversation throughout the day. And my experience was that I found myself in between different spaces, etc. And in between, I wasn't really able to be there.
You're leading a big camp. You have
exactly
40-something people to take care of. I have a camp of 5 people.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
Makes it much more
and so
manageable.
it was, and I needed to realize that for myself, of like, hey, what is actually my role in this larger thing? Is my role now to sit in these conversations all the time, and at the same time introduce speakers or workshop holders, and also hold space? Because I think that's something. I had a really beautiful encounter with Sophia in the afternoon. Shall we sit? Okay. I could notice with myself how I was like still constantly in between things, like seeing, okay, what has happened with the food, what happens here, what happens there. And she said, hey, like you are one of the 3 leaders here. So you are one of the 3 main space holders, which means the energy that you are in is really felt in the field and is going to be mirrored by the field. And so I was like, oh, wow, that's a challenge. Now, on top of all the things I already have to, I feel I am responsible for.
All of these people are looking at us, and not just our internet media posts,
Yeah.
with their real physical eyes.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, wow, she said, like, it's like an initiation. And I was like, okay, I'm ready for it. And then I went into the little yurt that got completed yesterday. Really beautiful, cozy space, more like womb-like.
Ooh, amazing! I haven't heard about.
Yeah, exactly. There's things popping up here that will add to the overall story and experience. And I was just really grounding myself and becoming really present in that moment and saying, okay, if my role is to also anchor the field and have that strong connection, the grounded one, but also the connection to sky, and really kind of bring it together in the heart, then let me do just that. And that's kind of where I dropped in yesterday. And from that moment onwards, I was able to just say, okay, I'm just now going to enjoy the moment. I don't need to be anywhere else, but exactly in the place where I am right now. And that moment turned into a 7-hour-long moment of moments throughout the evening until I went to bed. And I can feel how it has an effect on the field. And so when you just shared these things, I'm like, wow, because the the different superpowers, so to say, they are already coming out, you know, like in the different roles that even the two of us are playing now in this day yesterday without having talked about it, you know. And just kind of witnessing that, for me, is just like, yeah, really beauty and joyful process. So, yeah, that's kind of the experience.
This is the interesting thing is this is my third gathering, and for example, the last two ones, my wife was there, and it's interesting at a gathering like this how you end up co-creating. So at last year's gathering, me and my wife shared sleep time, and sometimes I was like running around, didn't even sleep in the thing. But yet we're still co-creating very much. She was holding a very strong camp, beautiful, and her program, you know, I'd peek in once in a while. Yeah. So it's this amazing thing where you don't interact, but you still see you're co-creating. I mean, you look across the field, everything okay. But I wanted to go, if it's okay, from all of this big picture and blah, blah, blah leader stuff, to bring in emotion. This amazing. The camera
Of course.
is fur, and you said, "Oh, let's just do one." And we took our chairs off to the side because it was sunny, and we had a little circle with 4 or 5 of us. And yeah, I would love you to talk about the practice that you brought in, because it was, yeah, I was vibrating with that moment all day, and it was just 15 minutes.
Beautiful.
Well, I think one thing that did is help me. I took a marketing for hippies workshop, and I've been looking at niching, and I think I found my niche. It's German entrepreneurs who want to make. We have one over there as well, because I think somebody said that Germans are hard on the outside, soft on the inside, the opposite of Americans, right? And I feel like I have such great tools for just bursting through that like thin crust. Protective layer. So that's kind of what we did with IPRs. So that's interpersonal reveals is the practice, and that's where you just share something vulnerably, where you put the attention on the space between, where I would put the attention in the space between us, and then you share back a felt sense, like how it feels to receive it. I mean, part of me is like, I wonder if we could do that now.
Yeah, let's do one. I was having the same impulse.
Yeah. Now, I should mention the connection games, we have mild, medium, and spicy, right? And this is a medium one, because the thing that's to share might be a bit edgy, so are you willing to play
I'm willing to
potentially
play.
spicy game with
anyway,
me?
So. And I would invite everyone here to play along, right?
Yeah.
It's not just between the two of us.
Yeah. So this will be the example. And this is actually one of the... one thing I've learned as a facilitator is like the example I set kind of sets the limit of what's possible. So I think yesterday there was some risky, and this one might be even a little bit more so.
Let's hear it.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of choosing my level of play right now, which is actually, I don't know if you guys studied about game theory, but there's this concept of, you know, the most alive gameplay happens when the players are like at a skill level just above where they normally are. And the best way to make that happen is to just let them choose. So right now I'm kind of like, okay, what is the level of play that I'm choosing with you? Okay, so my IPR with you, like I'm here because of the connection we felt on that call. Like without the warmth that I feel from you, I wouldn't even be here. And I've been mostly frustrated with you this call. Like this is why I'm here this morning. I was like, okay, I feel drawn to Victor in a way that I've had a hard time connecting to the larger groups. I think I heard an intention for kind of grassroots or open space, and I'm not actually experiencing open space, and I'm seeing such a missed opportunity, and I don't know if it's my place, but part of me wants to go shake you and be like, hey, here's exactly how you do it, and then of course like I'm trying to hold back my natural arrogance and not do that. But at the same time, that lands at the withhold. And generally what happens with withholds is you kind of pull back a bit. So I haven't really talked to you much. So that's kind of what's been in the space between us.
By the way, sorry, but you forgot to prompt how he should respond.
I'll,
He should respond
yeah,
how it made him feel.
exactly. Well, there you go. You're already good at this. Exactly. So it's tempting to just answer the question, but actually, like what's most alive in general, because that's what we do in Connections is we look for that aliveness. Is how it feels to receive this kind of blunt, whatever.
Yeah. So the impact it has on me is I first of all feel really grateful. I have one. I first of all feel grateful and happy because, again, I think I don't know if I shared this. No, I didn't share it with you, but I shared it with someone else who approached me yesterday and shared some constructive feedback on the overall experience. And I shared with him that what I find amazing is that with some, I mean, there are still things that are not going as expected, maybe, right?
So the type of conversation we're having already shifted. Right.
Yeah.
So what the game is, right?
You.
It's actually, and that is the thin. To me, that is the thin German shell, right?
Yeah.
Whereas actually, there's probably something in you that feels more strongly, or whatever. The happiness. Maybe you can expand on the happiness, but and it's like you can add the other stuff, but not until you've actually like named the feeling. So there's so the bond between us is
Thank you for teaching me.
Yeah, I did a lot of this yesterday.
And
that's
to
right.
reveal something about myself.
Exactly. So you honor my vulnerability by revealing yourself.
Of course. Like, I mean, I've heard this as a pattern, you know, like I go into explaining rather than staying on the feeling level. I had this received from ex-partners, etc. So thank you for tuning into that.
The women of the world thank us.
So then in terms of naming or labeling the emotions, gratitude. There is a certain, like a tension.
Nice.
That I'm feeling. There's a little part in me that feels like, oh wow, there's something else on my shoulders now that I get to figure out. But not in a way that it feels heavy, actually. If you would have shared it with me yesterday, the same time, it would have felt heavy. Today, it doesn't feel so heavy anymore, because I'm more in trust that we'll figure it out, and I can basically use that feedback as an invitation to say, okay, let's bring it into the morning circle with the camp, you know? Let's have it as an open conversation, because I had a similar impulse yesterday of like, I would love to see can we open it up more and see how do we want to flow today. And I know that you are very much on the open space side. Yeah. And I know there are people very much on the structured space side.
Yeah. I'll say,
and
like,
I'm the one.
Let me just say, GG to IPR, like that is complete, and now we're having a different conversation, which is totally great. Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's a beautiful, even like that's the tension that I'm experiencing, right? Of like, as a space holder, and I'm glad I'm not the only one, right? Because you are also a space holder. You are a space holder. Like we have so many, so together we can actually bring these different ends of the spectrum into coherence, right? I mean, and the beautiful thing is that until yesterday I felt this was all my responsibility, but it's not, you know? And so it's like, I thank you because yes, I hold a certain role, and that's why it's good that you are able to approach me, you know, and that we can, and that my role here is to create this space to be approachable for people for these things, rather than being busy doing operating things.
Right, but I normally wouldn't know how approachable you actually are until we had this experience.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm like, I don't like. I'm afraid of bringing some of these games to a corporate setting, but on the other hand, they're so needed, right? Because that moment of vulnerability and sharing feelings makes it much more likely and possible for us to collaborate. Yeah. Right? Like I actually know that I'm invited to contribute to you. Yeah, I've shared some hard feedback and you've taken it well. So I'm like, okay.
No hard feedback. It's beautiful. Like, and that's what I said. Like, what I'm grateful for is that we apparently have a safe enough space created where you feel safe enough to share it. And
That's
that for
true.
me is all that matters, you know? If
Yeah.
we're able to accomplish this in a group of 60 people that doesn't know each other, wow, like that's a big accomplishment for 24 hours, you know? And
Yeah.
I'm witnessing this not only with you, but also with others. And that's what gives me joy, you know, like to say like, okay, wow, the one thing that is really the bedding of for all that can happen is that safety in the space to express our truth and to be received in that truth, you know? And not feel like, okay, I have to defend myself, or, you know, like...
Yeah. And I think that's true on an energetic level in the camp, but I think along with the energetic, there also needs to be structural opportunity to do that. And I think yesterday the structural opportunities were missing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm somebody who talks a lot, and I ended up in a group of 10 people, and I said not one word,
Yeah.
right? So it's that's why to me, like, groups of 3 is what you really want, if you want people to feel involved, you know. And there's a lot more like ideas on how to bring the structure that actually allows people to be heard, to be reflected, and so on.
Maybe if I can add to that, because we had the same feeling sitting together yesterday in the session, and then we suddenly realized, hey, we are 4 people, we can do the exercise in a group of 4. Then we just sat together, then a 5th person approached us, very happy that there was a small group open for receiving people, and we just flipped the protocol, right? We just did what was suitable for us in that moment, and we had a beautiful connection and also a conversation. So yeah, sometimes you also need to feel like what is needed for you in that moment. Even if there's a facilitator saying, hey, go in large groups, maybe there's a small group needed also.
And that's exactly what I did. Like, I ended up joining Victor and who else it was, and we had our conversation.
Yeah.
But what you're saying reminded me that I actually just went to a 5-day training that almost feels like specifically for this. It was the Circling Europe or Transformational Connection Festival in the Netherlands, where they do this practice called surrendered leadership. So you can probably even hear the word and
That's what I felt like
imagine the
yesterday.
things like surrender, right? Because I'm like, I created connection games so we can have clear context, the safety, choice, and like we know we move from game to game. And then I'm experiencing this surrender leadership where it's just a group of, it could be 35 people in one room, and there's it looks like nobody's leading. Looks like it's just people step on top of each other, and eventually the group kind of breaks up into smaller pods. And what I'm learning after doing 2 years of this and being mostly uncomfortable is that actually that is the point, is that I get to sit with my discomfort. And instead of giving up, which is basically my tendency is to I either control it, or if I can't control it, I will give up, right? And instead I actually need to do something like create something that's valuable for me, or try to like influence the space without having leadership authority, right? So all these skills are actually amazing benefits of own your experience. I trust your experience is one. Yeah, so that's surrender leadership.
Exactly the experience you're meant to have in that moment to be able to meet your edge, right? And rise beyond that.
Oh yeah, but it sure doesn't feel like it in the moment.
No, it doesn't. Victor had you can take mine.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to this open space versus structured space situation, because I mean, open space is in itself a structure that can allow for people to opt into the structured space.
Yeah.
So just by opening up the space and saying, okay, this area is these are the areas that are going to be open. Hopefully, if the sun clears, it makes it a little bit easier. Yeah. Then it's just a case of. Okay, good. But then it's just then having the structure that people can communicate what they want to do through the day, and just that statement of permission and invitation.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be much more than that. It's an invitation. Yeah, you can have a calendar and various other things, but when you create the invitation to open up the space, it almost automatically does it. But especially if you allow for people to present what they want to talk about in the morning. Yeah. But with this many people, it becomes a bit more of a challenge. But I do have some potential technologies, but we need a photocopier if you've got access to one.
Right now, not in my pocket. We have a printer.
You've got a printer.
You got a printer.
Then I have a way to potentially break it.
So I wanted to connect with a bunch of the themes because I think they're really important and fundamental in what a key thing, what I believe we're trying to do here is we're trying to create and learn a new culture of collaboration. Right? This is at the root of why we're here. And co-creation being a key part of that culture of collaboration. So
is there a difference between co-creation and collaboration?
I think co-creation is the very extreme of
I
collaboration.
mean, we could collaborate to do all kinds of horrible
We could
things.
collaborate on my thing, and co-creation starts from scratch together, maybe.
I don't want to define. Anyway, there's a bunch. There's the whole cloud of ideas of working differently other than power hierarchies, right? And there's many different parts, and we're experimenting, right? A part of it is figuring these things out. So, and what I've come to appreciate is that yes, exactly like you said, creating a degree of discomfort is required, because if everything is fine, everybody will just sit around like everything is fine. But you need a degree of discomfort or a degree of chaos, and somebody's like, this is shit, I'm going to sort this out because I know how to do this, right? I've also realized that one part of me inviting people into these games, instigating new things, is to start trying to do it all myself, and then people who know how to do it might, no, I see what you're trying to do, you're doing it wrong, just get out of the way. And then I'm like, great, I don't have to do it anymore, I go and try and fuck up the next thing down the line, right? And that's why we're here in this beautiful field with tents, with a unit container toilet, because an amazing festival organizer decided, I see what you're trying to do, let me show you how it's actually done. So I think that's important. And then what you said, the structure versus unstructured coming into coherence, I think it's more coming into a dance, and we can have multiple streams. It's okay to have one really structured and one not. And then the last thing I wanted to go in around the culture and stuff, I think for me, the law of 2 feet is fundamental.
The what? The
law of 2 feet.
Can you explain
So
this
create
briefly?
a culture, even though there might be a big group there, if this is not what's working for you, if you have a smaller group, fine, just go off to the side and do your own thing. No emotions, right? You're doing your thing, and I trust that it's the right thing for you, and the group is big enough, and it's great. It's perfect. Do what's right for you. And then maybe if you discover that 3/4 of the people walked off, maybe that wasn't the right format, but maybe it's the right format for the people that are remaining, and actually the people remaining are so into it that it creates a next level experience. So creating really this understanding, we're all here free, and this is my anarchist roots, collaboration for free association. And free association means you're pretty sure you want to be there. So really create this culture. It's okay to walk off. It's fine. Do something else. No problem.
Can I ask a question?
I would like to add to that, because you're now bringing in a structure, right? Like law of 2 feet is part of the open space, which is a structure, right? That is structuring an open space format.
I would call it a culture, but yes.
It's a liberating structure.
It's a liberating structure. That was the point I wanted to get to, that you don't have to make an either or, like we have to either have more structure or more freedom or more, openness, but there is structures that allow for both at the same time, and they work because they hold the balance of both. Right? They set a law of 2 feet as a principle, right? And people that have heard about it can apply it. But if people haven't heard about it and don't know how the structure works, then the principle cannot hold the container for the space, right? So maybe we can also, I was thinking about that yesterday, because we set up this beautiful yard that is perfect now for rain, because we have an inside space that is dry, warm.
With a fur on the, it's beautiful, right? It's really cozy.
It's like a wellness space, right? It's helping people to recover, even if it's stressy and rainy outside, and we could have different spaces in a table, and then the sessions according to the timelines, and then have a structure for which session happens at what time, and who is holding the space, so who is kind of the go-to person, so that it takes more of the questions from people, from the head organizers, right? Because they can just point to the table and say, hey, here's the table, here are the sessions, these are the session holders, please approach them because they hold the space for this session. And then suddenly it's more self-organized and also more structured, but also more open, because people can just say, oh, I want to do a session, I can just put it on this table, and suddenly it's there, without needing to ask anyone. If they see a free spot or a free space, they can use it.
Yeah.
So
But I think
I mean, I have a mic, so I'm good. And I would just ask my question, but if you feel yours fits in better before, then just ask it.
I just wanted to do a concrete suggestion to not open it to the entire forum and say, hey, what are we doing right now? But because there are so many people here who has experience in open space. So just make a concrete suggestion how we will proceed and ask what's the feedback about it and integrate it. I think the people who have resistance against open space, they don't want those sessions where you talk forever about the structure, and maybe we shouldn't fuel this.
Absolutely. That was also, thank you for bringing it in, because my question was, okay, now we have this, with this conversation, I also know that there are some people, when I asked them yesterday, they were like, don't yet open it up too much, because yesterday we were missing a bit of structure. So for the structure-loving people, right now saying in the morning circle, okay, we now do open space, can feel extremely and so I want, like, my challenge right now as the one who's leading the opening circle is like, okay, how do we move from here to the desired state together? And I would love to invite help from you guys on this.
Two streams. This is the structure stream, the formal stream.
And then there's an open stream.
Great, but they don't work everything. You're not going to have a liberating structures yoga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
So the
I'm the leader, you do what I tell you. It's so fast you can. So
Yeah.
just have a stream, have an open stream of people who can write in the sessions that they want.
Yeah.
And then this is the structured formal program.
And then what the space is for that, like
I think you need to have a microphone when you talk. Please always have a microphone when you talk.
Yeah, and then to add to that, which spaces are going to be for the open space. So you've got a clear
Close to the mouth.
so you got a clear location.
Yeah, just
Okay.
down here.
All right.
Yeah.
Like here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just to add to that, I have a clear space for the open space with the clear signal, and that's it. It's enough.
Okay.
If I can offer feedback on a specific moment from yesterday, I think there was something planned in one session, and I think another camp was doing something else. And then that third one, I think it was Priya who said, maybe we can decide after lunch what happens here.
Yeah.
And instead you came in and you said like, oh, actually, can you do this? So you kind of you added another structure space, and my heart was hurting there. And I think you missed what she was offering, which is like allowing something to emerge, not right now. So you were, and I think we don't need 2 or 3 planned things. So having a space, and then for that space, what I would say, if people can write, so that's part of Open Space Technology by Owen Harrison, which I've been trained in a little bit, is to have multiple posters. Well, here's what we're doing here. Here's what we're doing here. Maybe a brief, like 1-minute presentation. Here's what we're gonna do, and then people can vote with their feet, basically, and join one. That'd be my suggestion for those sessions.
Yeah.
But for the morning circle, we are meant to be together, right?
Yeah.
We don't have 2 tracks, so then that's it.
No, we're meant to be together, and that's why in the morning circle we can actually offer and decide the open space sessions. Which ones do we want to have? Right. That's how I understand it. Or how do we decide how the open space is filled? Because at some point we need to decide which session we put on there.
Yeah, a little bit farther away. Okay. The workshop I did yesterday about emergence. It's about the people here finding what they are bringing to this place and how they want to engage with this. So what they have to offer and how they want to offer it. And I think it's really a great starting point for, okay, I want to share this in the open space. And also, but maybe some things they want to do one-on-one with other people. So it's really about recognizing what they want to bring this to this place and how to do it. And I think it may be a good place to fill the open space, to get clarity for themselves.
Yeah. So then, what I understand, to just repeat that back, would be to say it would be actually helpful to now have your session as the first one in the morning.
Yes.
And then flow from there. And so your session would basically be the first session in the open space track, while we have a parallel session in the structured space track.
Yes.
Perfect.
I would
Yeah, just wanted to make a comment. I think we also need continuity, right? In the sense that when you announced yesterday we will have 3 sessions to get to convergence, if we change everything today, then, like it creates a little bit of disruption, I think.
Yeah.
So completely fine to start with yours to set the scene, etc. But I think this continuity, this intention that everybody agreed to, I think, like collectively, maybe needs to have a different format, a bit more focused, but the continuity, I think, is important.
Yeah, what I'm seeing right now is, so we have essentially this, what we yesterday called this uniting in diversity, which is one of the main sessions in the Planeteer schedule, but it's also in the Coherence schedule, right? This conversation is essentially happening in the Coherence space. So anything on like collaboration concretely between organizations will happen here, because Victor is the steward for that and he loves to do that. And so we have a smaller space here where this can happen. It's accessible for people that want to join into the conversation, but it's a bit of a smaller group. And then we can have the large space as the structured session, so to say. And we can have the sacred space as the open space sessions, right? And I can basically move the uniting in diversity and say, hey, this is now all happening under the Coherence schedule. And now we have one structured sessions in the Planeteer camp, and then there's one open track in the Planeteer camp that we can fill. And the first in the open track is the emergence session. And then we can see how, I honestly would trust you if you were able to take ownership of the open space part. I'd be grateful, because I'm not trained in it. I don't really know how it works, and I feel it would overwhelm me right now to do it. So,
do we also have another space at the very back of the camp?
Yeah, that's the sacred space.
That's the sacred space. Oh, not the yurt. That's a different. All right. Okay, that's a different.
Yeah, the yurt is yet another.
I think that we will have in parallel.
Yeah, just as a chill.
As a wellness space, let's put it like that, where people can go find themselves, connect with themselves, where we have more like meditation, breathwork, sound journeys, more inward-going elements where people can recharge, regenerate, take time for themselves to integrate,
which is great, because this space was meant to be the chill space, and this is now the meeting space, actually, So it's flipping around. It's perfect.
Perfect. We have all planned that, but we just didn't communicate.
And it's really good to have a place for each of the flavor of, I think that's
absolutely
that's key to give orientation to people.
And,
I love it.
One need that I'm aware of, that I also would love to help with, especially at bigger festivals, sometimes there's a care team.
Yeah.
So basically, I wonder how people fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Right. And I would love to, because I do a lot of counseling. This is basically what connection games are.
Yeah.
I imagine there's other people as well.
For sure.
So if you can kind of ask, even in the morning circle, how is everyone doing?
Yes.
Have them in dyads or triads, share that with each other, so it surfaces, right? And then say, if anybody really struggles at any point, find one of these people, or go to the healing space.
Yeah. Beautiful. I'm excited. How do you feel?
Maybe if we can round it up, I think your suggestion is amazing, to have an emergent session for what people want to offer in an open space. And if you could also harvest it in a way, like either take the flip charts or something, and then write down at least for the first day, that would be my
part of the emergent concept is they will find what they want to do, and they will do this themselves. So they will find a way how they want to put it and organize it. So it's nice to have material there, so they can do it. But this is not my part of the responsibility is to bring the self-organizing system into existence, but they will do it themselves.
I have one way that I really like to close meetings.
Yeah.
I would love to go around and say, I came in with and I'm leaving with. So I came into this discussion almost just to get out of the rain and looking for something fun with Victor. So I came in not knowing, and I'm leaving 500% more excited to be here.
Beautiful.
I came in with the expectation of giving an entirely different morning presentation, and I'm leaving with excitement that the space will now be more open.
You don't want to go?
Yes, I would just give him the mic because I have one.
Came in randomly, in my morning walk, and I'm happy that I've stepped by. And I think I'm leaving this meeting with more clarity, and I like the specialization of spaces, I would say, and so really good.
I came into this space to charge my phone. Because I was also like, okay, maybe it's good to tell people, okay, this is when the morning circle will happen, etc., etc. Then got invited, or the conversation emerged, and I have no clue where people are at in terms of breakfast, what time it is, if we're already behind schedule, but I feel, hey, this is exactly what wanted to happen, so I'm feeling very grateful to have this conversation and now have a couple of strong allies that I would very much invite to step into the space with me in the morning circle as well, so that we can create this beautiful day together.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I came here randomly. I was brought here. I didn't even know what's happening. Alex just grabbed me from the kitchen, so breakfast crew is doing their work. And she just brought me here, and I'm leaving now with excitement and curiosity. And it's amazing to meet so many people in their action, and hear that there's more people excited about open space and collaboration. It's amazing. I'm very happy to be here.
The past 2 days I was not in my power. I totally resonated what you said. I still needed something to be here, and the system and the structure wasn't my structure. And I'm really happy to see forward what's the journey of the next days. Yeah.
Fantastic. Joachim, do you want to share anything?
There's a book called The Tyranny of Structurelessness that was written during the Flower Power movement, where a group of women came together and then wanted to do complete anarchy. Didn't work out, of course, and they invented new structural pieces, and then came to a much better alignment and way to work together, to collaborate, to co-create. Right? Yeah. And that's what I'm seeing here, just joining for a couple of minutes. Yeah. You overcame the tyranny of structurelessness. Congratulations. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Moving in the opposite.
Thank you so much, everybody. And as we are waiting for our...
Are we still waiting for breakfast?
I mean, maybe you, but
yeah,
the breakfast is almost okay, if you are hungry, you
I was just hoping that it is already being served.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. And I'm waiting for my coffee, and we are waiting for stage comedians. I think they are getting ready. Okay. And before they are here, I would yes.
We have just one question from the chat.
Question from the chat.
Perfect. Yeah, we have a chat. Yeah.
And
that's amazing. Break it on.
Just what's the hottest topic today? Just one word. Just what's the area of focus for us that we've been discussing?
Okay, maybe
it feels like it's in the field.
Maybe I give a mic to everybody, and everybody answers this question very shortly, like one word or one sentence or one paragraph.
Hot. I think hot.
The hottest. Okay.
The hottest topic.
Hottest topic we discussed today.
The hottest topic of today.
Yeah.
I think also moving forward.
No? Yeah, I think just in the field.
In general.
Yeah.
I would say for me, I don't know if it's the topic for everyone, but for me it's space holding and host.
Yeah, for me, clarity, as I was saying.
For me, I'm just going to use it as an excuse to slip in what I came here for, but it's about vibes. Vibes are basically transmitted feeling, if you want a hippie translation, but I think it's the most important thing for establishing a culture of collaboration, because 93% of communication is actually vibes, it's body language, it's voice, only 7% is words. So what are the vibes that we're bringing in? How do we create this vibe of invitation, of play, of joy, that people look at what we're creating here and go, fuck yes, I want to be a part of that. And then that's how we create this attractive force and this momentum to move forward.
And how do we create these vibes in the here and the now for one another in the next few days?
This can also be part of another discussion that you wanted to propose.
Well, which one was that?
Like how to create coherence. Coherence vibes.
The integration. Oh, yeah. What is coherence? Yeah. For me, it's about power, and it's about kind of dancing between submitting to power, challenging power, and enacting my personal power.
And letting people connect to their innate power and be that. You said you weren't in your power, so how can we bring everyone into their power?
One thing I wanted to notice is that the two agreements you named are actually both collectivist agreements. It's a respect and then co-creation. And actually, I really wanted to have an agreement like sovereignty, like. You know, we have a game called Circle of Chiefs, and where the rules are feel your power, express yourself, don't be an asshole. So something like, I want something like express yourself, feel your power, and maybe we can just get a little bit of that.
You can add a third one this morning.
Yeah.
So my word was collaboration. But after I heard you speaking, because this was speaking to my soul, it's vibe collaboration. So it should be a way of collaborating, but you know, that it feels natural and good, and maybe we can't explain all the elements of it, but there is a certain frequency to that collaboration that makes us feel good, safe, trusted, open, curious, in our power, so I would love also to explore that topic more today.
Nice.
I just say one word, gathering flow. So the entire gathering is in a common flow.
Yes.
Yes.
Cheers to that.
Great idea. What was your
Thank
word?
you very much. What is yours?
Yes,
what is yours,
Alex?
Alex?
I agree.
Short and sweet.
I just have one question. I think you are going to lead the bunch of us later.
Yeah.
Who wants to support in regards to the open space? So I think not all of. I have total trust that you are doing a good job. Is there anyone who says, hey, this task has my name written on it?
Since you also have the yard, I'm not sure if you want to. For the studio, I would like to invite you to reply to a question.
Yeah? I mean, because you didn't come